Hello everybody and welcome guys to the new climbing vlog. So in this one we're going to take a look at two moonboard sessions which were pretty spaced out because this one I got in before I got kind of sick and I had a break of maybe 1.5 weeks, and then the second session, actually there will be a big break after that one too, but we'll talk about it in the next climbing vlog. But in any case, two moonboard climbing sessions. This day at the gym was very busy, but I'm lucky that at this particular gym, the moonboard is really secluded. Like, it's next to the campus board and everything, and that part of the gym is really, it's like in a very not obvious place. Not many people go there unless they actually do some campusing and stuff, so I don't think many people actually know of the existence of the moonboard in this gym, so I was alone here. So here, just finishing some of the, like the first climb is my standard warm-up that I do, Ghost. And this was one of the last 6A pluses, I think, that I still haven't finished. I decided to take care of it. Here we've got B+, which if I remember correctly, I couldn't do during the previous session. I think we covered this one, yeah. Like, I've tried it, but I couldn't really do it. Let's see how it's going to go this time. The crux is here. The crux is definitely this hold. Yeah, I was able to do it, like, even relatively statically. Yep, was very happy with this one. Okay, yeah, but looking at my face right there, I think I meant that it felt pretty difficult. Next one. This hold, the left one, even though I've grabbed it before, it felt much worse than I expected. Especially looking at the next move that I have to do. So essentially, I need to go to this hold with my right hand. It's pretty far, and the feet are slopey, so I can't really claw into them to generate nice momentum. I think I thought about crossing here, like if I could just cross and go with my left hand and then match, but no, it's not possible. I just can't hang one arm from this left hold. It's way too bad. So I tried going how it was intended to be. And I mean, I kind of reach it, as you can see, but the hold is like kind of a sharp jug. And when you catch it, I don't know, it just really pushes in this area. And I don't like that. I had some, I guess, tenosynovitis or something, flare-ups in the past in that area, just because of, I don't think it was overused, just because of the pressure from some of the jugs. I remember I had it when I just started climbing and I was just climbing on jugs, but like on overhang, so with a lot of weight on the jugs. I actually have something in my finger right now, in the ring finger, but hopefully everything's fine. In any case, I decided to let it go, because to me at this point, especially, I really want to focus on completing the climbs that feel like they make sense to me. You know, I like the movement, they're not jumpy. Like, I skip a lot of jumpy boulders on the moonboard because, especially as I'm slowly moving up the grades, there's becoming more and more jumps. And in case it's to a really comfortable jug, so for example this top one, it feels, you know, it's pretty flat, so it doesn't punch into your fingers like in this area. It feels okay, so Like if there's a move like that, I do it, but otherwise I skip most of the jumps if I can't just static them and reach them. Because what's the point? You know, there's so many boulders that I won't do. So it doesn't hurt if I will not do another boulder. One more boulder. For this particular climb, I remember I was sliding so much because I washed my hands and I didn't chalk up. Like, you know how you gotta chalk up several times after you wash your hands to really get that chalk into your skin, and I didn't do that, and so I felt like I was sliding a lot there. So slowly ticking off B pluses. It's very encouraging, and it was very encouraging in the moment that most of them were flashes. Like most of these B pluses were flashes, so it gave me some confidence boost. You see? Just like I said, you're alone at the Moonboard unless there are some comp kids, really young comp kids coming over and training on the Moonboard or whatever. This move right here was pretty interesting. I think I could have done it better, but I didn't figure out a more precise body position for it because it was my first go, so I was like trying to solve it on the spot. And well, of course I looked at it from the ground, but 6C, trying out 6C. This move felt difficult, as you might have noticed. And I dry fire. The next move is also very big, and the left hand is not in cut at all. I think I was talking about here. I was talking about the foot that I didn't see. Like I went to it. I went for the next move from the position that wasn't ideal. So I decided to do it differently this time. See, again, I grab it and I have this backwards jerk. Means it's kind of limit. So I get the foot in the different place this time, and I just feel like my left hand is so high. So and again, because it's not in cut, it's just flat, and it's big, you know, maybe around 25 or even more millimeters, like a pinch, a flat one. But because it's so high, or rather it's so low, I have to drive it so low, it just becomes like a very awkward position, so I can't get it. I try several times here, as you can see, and I can't do it. Let's see what I'll try next. Oh, I decided, yeah, to grab it from the side because there's like an in cut on the side. And I just want to see if I can flip. And I can. And I can grab the next one. So that's what I will try to do. Quick tip of the day, guys, of the week, by the way. It's something that I like to think about. Just like I mentioned in the previous log, I do get nervous pretty often before the send goes. And what I found pretty helpful, I try to think I'll send it next time. I'll send it tomorrow or next go or something. Like this go that I do right now will never be the send one. So I even like to think that I'll send it tomorrow, you know. If I were to go on a trip, I think I would be thinking, well, if it's the last day of the trip, I'll send it next trip. There's always the next trip. I'm resonating with that position. I know a lot of people talk about executing, like you gotta do it because it's the last day of the trip and stuff like that. But to me, I feel like it puts even more pressure on myself. So I like to think, I'll send it next time. I'll send it next go. I'll send it next training day, something like that. So every go feels like it doesn't have much weight. It's like a training go, you know. I'm still training for that send go, which will happen in the future. And I feel like that helps. So feel free to use it if you want, if it makes sense to you. If I catch it, I kind of forget what I want to do with my feet. I flip, and it's just like, because I don't catch it perfectly on the flip, you see my index finger is on the top. I was really scared that I was going to tweak something, so decided to let it go. Here I just wanted to see how the top part feels, because I've never tried it. Hand-foot match, and my favorite, just lock off and reach. Very physical, no momentum, just reach. So felt all right. Decided to let it go for this section. Next boulder, again 6B plus. These pockets, man. This was probably my first time using a 2-finger pocket. And I was actually what I found pretty helpful. I'm sure it's not always possible. I don't like climbing on pockets, so I'm sure there are many tips out there that I have no idea about, but something that I found helpful for myself is putting my pinky on top of my ring finger like that. So I hold the pocket and the pinky is there instead of like keeping it to the side, or you know, it's like that. So it adds some more power and adds some more stability. Crimping. It's like crimping a pocket with your pinky. This was a pretty cool move because the foot right here is very slopey, so it's really not going to hold if you just stand on it like from the top, you know, like you normally would, or even try to claw in. Like clawing in doesn't work because it's completely slopey. But on the other hand, the left hand right here is a jug, and it's a very in-cut jug, so I can really pull out from the wall. And combining pulling out together with keeping my body a little away from the wall, so I'm like not swinging back too much, and once again pulling out and like imagining that I'm trying to do a front lever just with one arm, and like really thinking about that motion, just driving down. It helped, I feel like, to keep my foot. Which I can't say about the next one. Because I couldn't quickly transition my weight from my right foot to the left, and so obviously I just slip and I just hang like that. I try, but it doesn't work. And try once again. And get this one, and then because I need to go to the left, I actually let go of my feet. And let's take a look once again. So put my left foot right there because I need to go to the left, but somehow you see I catch this one, and I think because I really engaged my left hand right here, my stable position, so because I was up until this point mostly hanging, well, yeah, just exclusively hanging on my right hand, my balanced position was somewhere around here, so with my hips around here. But if I distribute my weight between two hands, it wants to go to the left. So it does go to the left, as you can see. Sorry about the picture falling apart like that. It does go to the left, and because of it, I just lose my feet, which was all right. I still was able to keep it. Get that one, and then I try to go to the top, and I just don't feel like I can hold this tiny little yellow thing. I think this is going to be the final climb of this day. Dynamic stretch. I think this was a flash. See how I grabbed this jug? It's pretty big, so I decided to match. Maybe the intended beta is different, but this worked for me. I tried to like match as best as I can. And just go. It was pretty limited in terms of the size of the movement, but the holds are all right. So it wasn't too difficult. Well, it was difficult, no. But I guess not too much. And here you can see, yeah, I'm done for the day. Like I felt like I was really getting powered down because that was a lot of climbing. So this is what I do for my finger training. I just engage like that for 3 seconds, then a rest for like 5 seconds, and then engage. And the key here, as you can see, I'm not pushing with my feet into the floor. I'm not pulling up with my shoulder. I try to keep my whole body as stationary as I can and just curl my fingers. So I think about bringing, you know, the block into the palm of my hand. It works your muscles just as well, but you get much less stress on the actual, you know, tendons and structures of your hand. And really push, I mean, really pull, really curl like that. So this day was after I got sick. Had about, just like I mentioned, 1.5 weeks break. So here's my standard warm-up, and the plan for the day was actually doing some 6A pluses. I wanted to do some lighter climbing this day. Will the plan work? We'll find out in a second. Okay, the warm-up felt all right, but in terms of the body strength, I felt very powered down on this day. Again, after being sick. Finger strength felt all right, but body-wise, wasn't feeling too snappy, you know. One of the classic climbs for 6A plus, Malibu Stacy. Especially this final move sometimes is tricky. Decided to try it with a heel hook this time for the first time, actually. Doing it like that, and it felt pretty cool. 6B. It's way too far. It's way too far, guys. I think the only way that I'll be able to reach this one is if I jump a little bit, which, as you remember, I at least in this point in time, I don't like doing, because I don't want to shock load my fingers. If it means I can't do a climb, no, that's all right. It's totally fine. I'll come back to it later sometime when I'm able to jump confidently. But I'm still going to try, you know, to somehow find a way to reach it without jumping. So I was thinking maybe 3-finger drag. Maybe I should reach it in 3-finger drag. Really thinking about how I swing my body into it. But still feeling very far. Kind of close, but at the same time far. You see? Not quite working. So, again, I decided to let it go. And foot match. I hit my elbow right there pretty hard, yeah, on the cross. Gotta do another big move. Sorry, there's no lights. So I do the move. Try to like do something to match. I mean to go to the top and do it statically, but you see I can't. And I again decided to let it go because it's a big move. It's a very jumpy boulder. I think the final move to the top is also supposed to be a jump. And I just didn't feel like doing it. I don't want to jump too much at this point. So coming back to the climb, as you remember, Alley in Wonderland that I couldn't do on the previous day before I got sick. Well, not day, training day, you know what I mean. Trying to flip. It just doesn't feel nice because the position is not very stable, so like you gotta be very precise on the flip. And again, I'm scared that my fingers will land somehow crookedly and I will tweak something. I'm still working on it, so I decided to maybe flip from that position, from my left foot being higher. You can see how weak I am. Like for example, on the move to the black jug pinch, just in terms of my body, like I instantly go away from the wall, not feeling snappy after the break. And here I just land in that position, like the position that I need essentially. Get some momentum, and I get it. Here's the part that I've done before. Get the crimp and the top, which I was happy about. And so here, the decision, like why I did it, I'm still struggling to explain. So just like I said, I felt pretty weak in my body. And so maybe because I didn't want to feel like, oh, here is the climb that's, let's say 6B or 6B plus, that I feel like I should be able to do because I'm flashing most of them. But now because I'm sick, I can't. And so it'll be like a bit of a hit to my ego because, like, after all, we all have egos, right? So let me just go and just play around on the spray wall. My gym is one of the only ones I feel like where a spray wall is around, I don't know what it is, 60 or 65 degrees or 70 overhanging. And here I'm just showcasing some of the holds that I'm going to be using, but most of them will be of this nature. So like pretty much full pad crimps. Sorry. But they're on a complete overhang. It's not a roof, but it's just like I said, around 70. I think it's more than 60, like 65, 70 degrees overhanging. And because at my pretty much only local crag that I've got, there's a bunch of climbs on a very overhanging boulder. I really want to go there as soon as the weather allows. I hope it will happen pretty soon. Because I will be climbing on a similar kind of terrain, I I was excited about going to the spray wall and trying out some of the crims, because before I made one boulder which I graded like around 6C on here, which was using just like really nice jugs. But when it came to crimps, I had no idea if I was actually able to even hang them, you know, or like do any of the moves, like at least one move. Am I able to do one move on a crimp, on a pad crimp, on such an overhang? So I wanted to try. So I can definitely hang it. Now the question is, can I do a move? Is it possible for me to do a move? So I go one hold lower, get the same foot, try to do a move. Feels good. Which, because I had such low expectations, I was again pretty excited about it. I was like, oh, just crimps on overhang and I'm able to do movements? Wow. And slowly trying to piece together something that will resemble a nice boulder. Just kind of behind the scenes, I'm spending quite a lot of time just standing there, just looking at the holds, feeling them, thinking about the movement. And I wanted to use crimps of kind of similar size. So slowly working on it. Just like I said, most of them are around a pad size. Some are a little less, some are a bit bigger. Nice shouldery move right there. This was so cool. I enjoy these kind of like shouldery Gaston type of moves where the other foot is pretty far away and you just gotta lock off like that, isolate and do a move. I find them very enjoyable somehow. So you see I'm making a lot of moves on different crimp holds. And yeah, felt good about it. That foot match was very tricky but very interesting. I tried crossing, and I think it felt way too difficult and like uncomfortable. So let's see. I go one, again a shoulder move, then I recycle to the previous one, again a nice shoulder move on the right, and then I go back to go right to that one. I think the movement is pretty cool. Like maybe I'm experiencing the Dunning-Kruger effect right now when it comes to spray wall root setting, and the boulders are actually pretty crap. But to me it looks pretty interesting. Really awesome that you have to do a lot of foot movements to get into every position optimally. Otherwise, I don't think you'll be able to do it. You know, if you have a lot of swing and barn dooring, then it'll be very tough. Bump to the next. Here I decided to do, to use this slopey foot for the right foot, and like, not really a toe hook for the left, but I'm compressing between the feet. That was, yeah, that was not it. Shoulder didn't feel nice on that one. Nice big move, again, pretty shouldery move. The foot is slopey, which is nice. Again, I use that one to compress. Here you gotta really control the feet. Well, there on the left is actually like a proper toe hook, if you think about it. I'm still playing around, you see, with the different sequence, with the different holds, to see if I... looking for a top hold right now, actually. And this felt way too much. Like, that was so difficult. That was really, really difficult, so I decided to not do it. But this, I'm doing like a bicycle right there with my feet. This felt pretty interesting. So even though, again, it's an awkward top, this is how I left it, and I haven't sent the boulder. So this was the end of the session, as you can see. I made it. I've got the picture of it. And yeah, maybe sometime in the future I will try to send this one, but the thing is, I'm not really climbing at this gym anymore at the moment. Got something else pretty exciting. So I'll have to go to this gym specifically to try this boulder. But yeah, this was the end of this session and of this week, couple of weeks actually. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Catch you all in the next video. Take care, guys, and keep climbing.